This episode of the Devinwade Show is brought to you by Swig, liquor delivery services for the New Jersey and PA area. For delivery, call 856-238-1178. Follow Swig on Instagram at Swig Lounge.
Yeah, it's still a definite for the signing thing. Still prepared for everything the drama bring. It's us against everybody. Either side with us, stand behind us, or get ran over. Yeah, if it's war with your boy, then be ready for the scars. We ride around with effins and machetes in the car. We real live warriors, way before the movies. Since Juvies had them small handguns, the Uzis. The smack kept them groovy, that Ye had them chasing. Like Jason, literally behind your ass pacing. You ain't see them days cause you was probably on the porch still. I had the torch for protection like a force field. It's the bread that these suckers like to hate on. Push back your muffin, that ain't nothing to debate on. We still eat daily, strapped like Israelis. Here we slip rarely, only going broke scary. We never claim holes, give them good game for sure. Marble top the counters and we wood grain the floors. We cop property like Monopoly now, and I ain't gonna stop until I'm properly crowned. It's always fire in my clip for who wants some. I'm on my grind and I need mine to come in lump sums. Hungry savages, you know we known to hunt some. Then put my dogs on just so they can stun some. It's always fire in my clip for who wants some. I'm on my grind and I need mine to come in lump sums. Hungry savages, you know we know to hunt some. Then put my dogs on just so they can stun some.
Hey, yo, what up, though? Welcome to the fucking Devinwade Show. I am your DJ, Chelsea Lee, and I'm going to send you over to Mr. Choke Your Mom Out, Choke Your Pop Out, Mr. Raw Dog T-shirt today himself, DevNasty.
What up, what up, what up? I am your host, Devwade, a.k.a. Dangerous DevWade, a.k.a. DevNasty, a.k.a. Choke Your Mom Out, a.k.a. Choke Your Pop Out. And we got to get to a whole bunch of stuff on this episode of the Devinwade Show. Oh, we got a lot to get to, so we're going to jump in fast. Of course, as always, at the far end of the couch, the man who just blessed us with that new banger.
That's fire.
For who wants some, you know what I'm saying?
Just put some hoodie music out there, man. It's your boy, man. It's Podcast Porter, man. Y'all know. We in the building, the Devinwade Show, and I just blessed y'all with a little record. It's a new year. I got a bunch, and I really got the clip loaded. When I'm saying like it's always fire in my clip. If you want some, y'all got to stop thinking negative and just thinking about the pistols. Even though it can like relate to that, you know, take care of yourself, protect yourself out there. But I really got fire in the clip with a bunch of new records and a bunch of new crazy music. And Who Wants Some is just one of the ones that I might not even put on a project, but the gang thought it was dope. They thought it had a nice ring to it. So it's some hoodie music, some workout music. You see, I had the hoodie on. You know what I'm saying? I told Wally, stay hardcore, don't all this shit she doing now. I told her that wasn't allowed, but she did it anyway. It's all love. That's my baby.
It just made me feel like I felt the energy. I had to do it. Monica was just giving me all the energy.
Well, you know, Monica always come with the super gangster vibes.
And that's actually produced by Dan and Breeze.
Oh, Dan and Breeze.
Dan
and Breeze is one of my like super childhood brothers, like from little kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he always talk about y'all. Like, that's
we literally
guy.
came in to like rap together, all of that type of shit.
Who Wants Some, man? Look for it. Who Wants Some? It's always fire in my clip.
And
they
that
don't want
is
nothing.
The Thurman Street Pumper Porter Rich. And to the right of him. And this is where you see her once again in her fashion fucking glory, of course.
This is fun. I
you know
like
what I'm saying?
doing
Like, what kind of pointy ass shoulders? Like, it's like, so it's a crew neck.
Yes, it's a crew. Y'all know I like crew necks. We already discussed
with the diamonds
that.
all crazy, but with the crew neck.
And these are shoulder pads.
Okay.
They have like shoulder pads
Very
in them. This is very like 90s. Remember the 90s? A lot of women. Well, yeah,
everybody,
90s.
I think, shoulder pads.
Shoulder pads and the blazers and the, everything.
Yeah, because Milli Vanilli and them niggas had them shits.
You already know.
You know what I'm saying? They had that shit.
Now they bringing it back.
Oh, man. Well, she's got it from top to bottom, the boots, the whole outfit. That is our fashionista, the queen of Agua, Wally Water Kingdom.
Hello.
AKA Waleska D is in the building, man.
What's up, beautiful people?
And you see the extra long pony.
Fishtail braid.
Yeah, super braid with her. And she is always in conjunction with Horny Park. You know, it's always Horny Park and Wally Water Kingdom. Our DJ.
I got a surprise for y'all.
Chelsea Lee. Oh, there's a surprise.
Just
nervous.
keep going.
Okay. So you know, as tradition, we always spark off the show with a moan from Chelsea Lee on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that was a lot.
Oh, it was multiple modes.
I had the backup moaners. Y'all wasn't ready.
I've heard that kind of combo.
Moaning
in real
and
life.
training. Moaning and
It's a great
training.
time.
Look for the new single coming from the group The Moaners.
The trio.
the Ramones. You know what I'm
I
saying?
had to bring them on, you know, in case I get a scratchy throat. We might have to throw it to the nasty girls one time.
Okay, scratchy throats and nasty girls. But we got the nasty girls in the building today. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we have KT in the building and look, hold on. Look, they in the wrong order and shit. You know what I'm saying? They in the wrong order. But we got KT and we got Monica, also known as Monica. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In the building.
Mulatto.
Cheeks flapping and all of that, man.
Shout to Katie too in the building.
How everybody feeling today, man?
Feeling
Feeling
blessed, man.
good.
Feeling
There's
good?
a lot going on, but
Yeah,
you know,
ready to
a lot
jump
has
into it?
went on.
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah,
think
it's
we
been
need
a crazy week.
It's been a crazy like week and a half, 2 weeks,
Right,
man.
month.
The new year.
I want to
Whew.
jump right into something that I guess it affects the area that we're in locally a little more.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, a lot of you watching, everybody knows the Corvette. Hop in the motherfucking. I don't even know what
That's
the fuck
my
he's saying. You know what I'm
jam,
saying?
Yeah,
I only know that.
I learned it from a lot of people doing these TikToks and
Yeah.
different celebrities that I seen jamming to it.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that's what only thing that I knew it from.
Katie knows.
But then, you know, obviously locally, because this is the Philadelphia area or whatever like that, it was like, you know, some controversy with that artist, you
Right.
know, Popp Hunna, where, you know, basically everybody is calling him a snitch. Saying that the boy is a snitch, and then there's, you know, credible artists, you know, of all kind, trying to fall back from the kid or whatever.
Blackball him off the whole.
Yeah, pretty much.
Scene.
You know what I'm saying?
Just got rid of him, dumped him to the side like just.
Like trash.
Yeah, just dumped him to the side. And from what we're hearing about this situation, you know, to fast forward and get to the meat and potatoes of this is the kid, this guy might be like 19 years old, something like that.
Now.
We'll
Now.
on it right now. You know, he's got the record whamming right now. The record is everywhere. This is a dream opportunity for this young man. And you know, when you're my age, 40, you know, one, I'm going to be soon. I don't have my drink yet, so we can't
Don't
do that
cheers
toast.
yet.
Yeah, but you know, you see everybody in a situation where it's like that dude could be my son. So you know, I look at him
Yeah.
as a kid,
Right.
and you know, back when he was 13 years old, he supposedly witnessed a murder. Him and his mother of a friend of his and his mom took him down to the police station or whatever the case may be, and they told them, you know, what they saw.
Right.
And people are basically trying to say that this kid is a snitch.
He's a rat now.
He's
7 years later, and they're putting him in a box now to where something that you happen when you're 13. That's not even fair. Like he didn't, not even to go deep already, but he didn't sign up to no gang. He didn't sign up to say like I'm a street dude or I'm not a street dude. So I think it's really unfair and it's unfortunate for a 13-year-old who's with his mother. And at that time, you should be listening to your mother or your father.
That's
and
the
if they
greatest
say,
point of it.
if your mom says, come down to the police station, we got to go talk to the police. Your friend got murdered at 13, 14, 15, even 16, 17. If you don't sign up for the streets, if you're not in a gang, if you're not part of that life, you, by all rights, by all means, go down and tell the police what happened. Because if it was your mom that got shot, if it was your dad that got shot, if it was your younger brother that got shot, if it was somebody in your family, I guarantee you're going to go to damn police.
Well, one thing that I'll say is I noticed
that age.
I'll notice that. See, I could speak on this freely because one, I'm a civilian. Two, I don't even like pander to the street people.
Life.
So I was like, I don't have that thing where it's like I want to say the right thing so the street niggas could fuck with me because I don't give a fuck. So I'll tell y'all in my opinion on that. One, he is supposed to listen to his mother at that age. He's a child.
Correct.
So the difficult part comes when the Chelsea said he didn't sign up for the streets and everything. I don't know if he did. You know, I don't know that man.
Right.
But I wanna take it and make it like play devil's advocate. Let's say he signed up for the streets. Can you, from a grown man's perspective, sign up for anything at motherfucking 13?
No, you can't at all.
Because we can actively get, you know, people off the porch at 12. We know people ran around catching bodies at 12. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, yeah.
you know, it was people in my school, you know, that was going in for murders at that time. But at the end of the day, even looking back,
Still
when I
a
look
child.
at a picture of them, it's like, damn, bro was, man,
a lot
we
of
was,
responsibility.
We was kids, man. People don't even realize, like, one, your brain's not developed until 10 years after that. You know what I'm saying? But for him to be in a position where people are looking at him and saying, because you said what you said, and spoke to the police that many years ago when you was 13 years old, now you a snitch and we gotta remove
Blackball you.
You know, from the rap game. I think that's crazy. As a child, what he's doing is he's being loyal, right? Y'all talk
To his
about loyalty all the time and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
He's being loyal to his mom and maybe being loyal to the person that's the victim of that, you know what I'm saying? Of that
Yeah,
crime.
I'm sure the kids, I don't know, but whoever his friend was that got shot, I mean, I'm sure the friend's mom or dad or whoever
I've
was
heard
in
it
his
was
family.
his brother. I've heard a bunch of shit. I don't
Yeah,
know
they
exactly.
they
who.
probably was like, go and tell if you saw who shot him, because we want to get, you know, some sort of relief on who shot our child at the end of the day. So I totally disagree with them blackballing him. If he's talented and he's 19 at this point, and when it happened when he was 13, man, let the kid live. Let him have a life. Don't ruin his whole life for something he did when he was 13 that I feel like he should have done.
Right, and I want to say this because I want to see what Porter's perspective of it, because out of us, Porter is a person that at, you know, time in his life lived a lot of his life in the street and everything like that. But I just don't understand the mindset of people when they want to apply certain rules and these permanent things to adolescents, you know what I'm saying, to children. It saying that a kid could make the right choices at that time, if we're talking logically, then you got to be a person that also says shit like, oh, if she 13 and she's giving up the pussy, then grown men can fuck her.
Yeah.
Because if they can do like street business, shootings, killings, all that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? And you saying, well, they grown enough to do that. That's what you're saying. You're basically trying to say that children can make adult decisions and be held accountable. You know what I'm saying?
It's not fair.
It kind of doesn't make sense. And I want to touch on something else more on a legal standpoint, because it's some things that are contradicting what people think.
I think it's crazy. It's definitely deep. It's a deep, and I'm not glad it happened. I wish they were still supporting this kid, you know, because it's a long time ago. I wish I kind of like knew this, but it don't even matter, because you made a great point, you know, when we first started talking about this. But I kind of like wish, just so I could know exactly what I was speaking on, if I knew if he was like in the streets himself, whatever, with this other kid who got killed, and if it was whatever, just a different behavior or activity going on. But even then, when I mentioned that to Dev, and that's why I said I like, you know, building with Dev and speaking with Dev, because he see things from different views. We have different perspectives on things, but then we come together and we actually like enlighten one another, you know, whereas though I definitely agree with you, where like, in the streets, technically, a lot of this, the quote unquote street toxic rules that we make, that we try to abide by and that we try to hold up so crazy, that right now is being held up, where this kid's career and a positive way for him to like make a change for his community as well, make a change for his family, for multiple families,
man.
is being thrown down the drain because of a toxic street rule, right? That you made a lot of sense on. I do kind of like, because I came up in the streets, and I just know for me, at like 13, but I gotta be honest, like it was always like older people around, like that was like, you know, that was like shit that I was seeing was like a learned behavior. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like looking back on that shit, how shit went, and listening to this situation now, I just feel like, yeah, like if you know he 13, right? And you know he don't know no better. You 18, you 19, you really don't even know too much better, but you
right, but at least you grown.
Right,
you could go fight a war. You could go to Afghanistan.
You grown and you more familiar with him as far as a murder, incarceration, the process, maybe things you gonna have to like face, you know. And this kid, like again, this kid, especially if he wasn't in the streets, then this is really horrible. But even if he was, it's like Dev said, at 13, when these kids is running around in the streets, and they being like, just allowed to like tote these pistols and run around and hang on these corners and deal this dope and deal this coke, whatever. You got to understand that the drug dealer over him, the older person, and this is me at one time, this was me at one time. Like, I'm really like responsible for that. I know more. I know better. You know what I'm saying? And even if they came off the porch and just bumped into my shit, if I would allow them to come in it and I know what this dangerous shit consists of,
Right.
I'm still responsible for the shit.
Because
you know
do you think a kid, number one, if a kid is out just selling dope, do you think a 13-year-old kid has the cognitive abilities to really understand
The repercussion?
not just the repercussions of what could happen to him, but what it's doing to his neighborhood?
And everybody
He doesn't
around
we know that a kid don't understand that he need to go to school and get good grades. He don't even get it when he can't even think about like, oh, I gotta graduate or go to college. It's like, dog, I want to play the fucking PlayStation. Like, my son is 13 years old. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make him clean up after himself. You know what I'm saying? He don't all the way know the importance of just regular hygiene. You've been on the game all day. Go take your ass in the shower. You feel what I'm saying?
For certain kids, I feel like, and I can only speak on people that I know personally that were at that age and experienced a lot of that stuff. There's certain kids that are like, they have to do it because there's no other option around you but that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's where they get caught in the wrath of it.
They get caught in the wrath of it, and then it's just like you said, how do they, like, they're like, no, I have to do this. I have no choice. So they're not even thinking like, oh, do I gotta go, if shit hits the fan, am I gonna snitch him? They're not even thinking about that.
Right.
Because they're like, this is survival mode. I gotta take care of my family. I gotta take care of my mom. My mom's sick. You know what I'm saying? I gotta
Mom's on drugs. That's one of the biggest
Exactly.
ones that I see with my brother Sneaker Box Chalk and all of that, and New Souls. These kids is living in family shelters and things like that, and they trying to get a meal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and you want to feed your mom, and like these kids, they 13 years old, and they be trying to like they're doing adult activities, right? And we're holding them accountable.
Right.
And they're 13 years old.
I want to say just on top of that, because I know Dev go in how he go in. I get it. My brother feel how he feel. He came up how he came up, and he feel how he feel with the whole street shit. Me personally, I like to be honest about the shit and always say like, yeah, I get it because it's so dangerous. It's such a nasty thing that we try to like make out to be like cool for a long time. We did, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like even now, I'm using me an example, saying me when I was out there with the youngest hustling and they was younger, things of that nature, I just know that I was older. I had the better brain set. And don't get me wrong, we all fucked up in them streets when we in them streets. All of us, when we caught up out there, from the young nigga to the older nigga that just is still so infatuated with that shit and knee deep in that shit that he can't even like pull out and get his shit together. Like, it's a repetitive cycle that's been going on for fucking years with the street shit. Repetitive cycle this is a reason for like to help situations like mass incarceration and these weird designs. So what I just want to say, before we get out of this shit and get off this shit, is to the street people, if you don't like when people talk about like the harsh realities of the status of the streets and how they really are and the dangers of them and just the toxicness of them, then try to do better out there. Because like Wally said, some people end up out there because they have no family. Again, it's an ongoing, it's a revolving door. It's an ongoing situation. It stems from generations where mothers got high, did whatever they did. But we gotta find a way to break these chains and start doing new things and these rules, like these rules that we're talking about right now.
You don't think a lot of these rules, it seems like, this is just me, and I ain't really trying to clown nobody. I'm just calling it what the fuck I see.
Right.
A lot of y'all niggas that call yourself street niggas is looking for the approval of other men. Yo, you not comfortable in your own skin, my nigga. You don't want people to know you do certain activities because it don't look street enough. It don't look cool enough. Niggas be undercover fans of different shit, but don't. You feel what I'm saying? Because I know that niggas know I got different interests and they be in the street and they come to me and they'll share like, actually, bro, I'm into this. But they don't show that to other people because they don't feel
right.
That they will appreciate it like you appreciate it.
And because I notice like everybody, it seemed like all them niggas has got something like that. So I'm saying that, Rich, because it seemed like a lot of these people don't even feel like what the boy did was wrong at 13. Some of them probably feel like, damn, man, I would want to fucking stay on your record or work with you. But, bro, I got to separate yourself from you because now you tainted.
That's
and
real.
I don't want to look like I
Like
I condone it, even though I do condone it.
Before you get off the statement real quick, I just want to, like, what Dev says, drive it home that, like, if you do grow up and you don't have a mother or a father, and you have other people that's in your life, that's family, at the end of the day, this was this kid's mom. It wasn't his boy. It wasn't his friend. And everybody's looking for approval from the streets, but who's the first person to turn their back on you when something goes wrong? The streets. And who's going to be there for you?
Who answers the calls?
Who's going to be there for that kid when, whatever, his mother that took him to the fucking police station, that's going to be who there for him. None of these rappers, none of these people that's blackballing him. That shit is bullshit.
I love all my doggies. I love all my bros. They know it. I love y'all. I love everybody, my cousins, all my dogs I was in the street with. We ran, we tore them shits up. It was all nasty. It's all a nasty place. I pray we find other shit so we can get up out of there. But Lord knows what Chelsea's saying is the truth. My mom held me down like no other every time. My mom and my dad. You know, and my niggas, a lot of times we was out there young together, so they wasn't able to really do too much. It is probably in another facility or in correctional joints. But mom and dad definitely was the ones that, you know, had to like suffer that pain. And for the people that may not have mom and dad there, but y'all putting grandma through it, y'all putting the aunt through it, you putting your sister through it. Like, we gotta find a way.
Putting your girl through it.
And then you gotta think like, what kind of trauma is it for a 13-year-old to witness a fucking murder?
Nobody wants to talk about
Hey, now they want to throw it on, oh, you shouldn't have snitched.
Yeah, nobody want to talk about the PTSD that comes with that, right?
People
But
worried
at the
about their
same time-
entertainment careers.
Right. And at the same time, it's like, yo, why don't we support this kid and help him and be like, yo, like, regardless of what they saying, you are an awesome artist.
Now every kid's gonna be like, at 13, oh, if I snitch now, I might not have a rap career later. It's sad.
I want to think about this too. Let's say the boy ended up becoming a street dude. Because this could get interesting too. Let's say he ended up becoming a street dude because who you are at 13 years old
It's not
and
who you are.
At even 16 years old
Totally
be a
different.
big fucking difference. My life jumped crazy from 17 to fucking 20. It was like whole different environment.
Facts.
Niggas I was with, everything that was going on around me.
It's a
you know what I'm
shift.
saying? Totally different. So if he did become a street nigga later on,
Right.
and a person had something to say about, oh, in your music, you said this and you said this, but when you was a kid, you said this, that's like a nigga beating everybody up and he talk about how he beat people up, but then people be like, when you was 9 years old, people used to beat you up. Well, they not beating them up now.
Exactly.
It's a difference.
There's no reference. That's stupid.
It's a difference now, and I want this to sit home because a lot of these rules, you know, they might be pro-streets, but they anti-black. These rules is super anti-black. Like, if you believe in a lot of this shit, bro, you have to at least admit that you anti-black. And because this shit is made for black people to motherfucking fail. And you gotta remember, like,
Hate each other, kill each other.
man, it's just people are kind of just trapped either way. And when you think about it from this perspective, if you can cast out a person forever based on them snitching, because we're going to use the word y'all use, at 13 years old when they're a child, then don't be huffing and puffing when a judge give a nigga a life sentence at 13 years old. Because y'all the ones agreeing with the judge that says he knew what he was doing.
He can't change.
He knew what he was doing. He committed to this crime, just like you said, he committed to an oath.
Right.
So you saying all your niggas that's locked up for a murder belong in there forever. That's what you're saying. You can't say free this person and them, free this guy, or yo, he was only 15 and they got him in here this long, but you saying that he knew what he was doing. Which one is it?
And Dev is absolutely correct, man. This like just the street shit, we get it way the fuck out of context. We use it at times when just it don't make no absolute fucking sense. Cause I get two criminals that decide to do a crime together and get caught, and then the one can't stand the heat and turn on the other. Like, it's just snitching is like a certain thing.
Right.
And motherfuckers get that shit so out of context. And it's like Dev said, we do that. That shit is only like anti-black shit. Because in other communities, in this same scenario, in other motherfucking ethnicities, this kid would be a fucking hero. This kid would be a hero. This kid did
and for
something.
the people that want to say, "Oh no, he wouldn't," because the Italian people is the ones that you're actually getting all of these like rules and shit from. To be honest, we all know
Listen,
these is
The
mob
mafia.
rules. These is mob rules, right? But they don't let their children participate in this shit.
But look at the other story that we had, right? I'm not even gonna say no names, cause I don't like to say names, weird names. But a big teller Tubby, right? Really told a lot of shit. I just seen a clip of him yesterday walking, saying yes. They asked him about how does he feel about being the biggest teller around, the biggest famous teller. And he said, it feels amazing. He said, I put bad people away. I did my job. And I just mentioned that so all the people that were supporting this big teller and all the people that was running around with this big teller when he was running around fronting and pump faking and using all these smoke screens and all this extra acting shit, and you niggas fell for this shit. And now motherfuckers is talking shit, laughing at those same rules where in that situation, those rules actually would have made sense. Because this big teller was ordering for people to get things done to him.
Right.
You know, he was partaking in the lifestyle.
Right.
You know, so
As an adult at that. Mm-hmm.
and it's just weird. And guess what? Now he's like, you know, doing whatever he's doing with the whole police. He has a whole like police family, law enforcement family.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, man, listen, I don't want to talk no shit because I don't want no niggas to think I'm taking pit or just trying to assassinate. Because like I said, I got a place in my heart for the streets. But a lot of the shit that Dev say be the realest shit in America. And I'm going to be honest to God that the streets was fucking super nasty, a super dangerous place. I ain't bitching. I did what I did. I chose a lot of the shit that I chose, but a lot of shit that we speak on is the truth. I was a kid half the time. I was a kid because I was locked up early too. 13, 14, I was a kid. Where it were people, and don't get me wrong, I don't fault them because again, it's a repetitive cycle.
Right, exactly.
But the important piece is, and why we talking about all this here and why we mention it, is because let's not keep the toxic shit going.
Correct. At a certain point, we gotta
find a way
break
to
the
switch
chain.
it.
We gotta break the chain and start higher. We gotta start putting other sins of the community higher on the fucking list, man. Because a lot of people that's bitching about this type of shit and whatever, you don't even commit. You don't have nothing to do with that shit. You just repeating what you fucking hear and fucking
What people are telling you to do.
a song from a nigga or whatever. But to me, I just want to send, for me personally, Popp Hunna. I wish success for you. I hope that you never have to take part in anything street if you did at one point or not. And that is more. I'm a fucking
and
spinner.
go stream the fucking record.
I'm gonna go stream the motherfucking
Go stream
shit,
the record.
and I don't even want to listen to it.
Listen, go stream the record because they still streaming the Teletubby. They still playing the Teletubby in the club. Go stream the Corvette joint. I like the joint. It's a hot joint. It was popping off. Go stream it. Go fuck with it.
Also, music. We talking music. We had got news earlier this week that maybe the biggest music legend of hip hop, Dr. Dre, suffered an aneurysm or whatever like that. Super. You saw the impact of that immediately. It struck a lot of fear in people. That's how you know how much people really, love this man and his contribution to the culture.
He's like the king.
Yeah, really, man. Just watching him grow as a businessman, and we on a fucking podcast, so we talk about different events, current events, and we've chimed in on him, his wife, and all that shit, just because that's what the fuck a podcast is.
Right, absolutely.
We barbershop talking with cameras there. We saying the same shit that people say at home.
Nice piece of entertainment, man.
You know what I'm saying? But
that's a serious situation though.
Yeah.
And what's sad though sometimes, like, how we always say we gotta give flowers while these people are here. Granted, thankfully, like he's still here and he's still going, through what he's going through. But people just need to realize like life is way too short. One of our friends passed away from a brain aneurysm, and I just feel like, listen, us as, young folks, period, we need to always make sure we're checking ourselves, making sure that we're healthy, making sure that, we're not stressing, making sure we're not doing anything that'll trigger certain things like that. You get what I'm saying? Because it could be lifestyle, it could be stress related, it could be all types of things. But, I don't think there's nothing in the world that can stress you enough, to cause you,
That should
cause you for that to happen.
Yeah, because most of the stress is always like
financial.
And let's be honest, most of us are blessed to have, roof over our head. We got shit. With the things that we might be really stressing about is actually like excess.
It's minute.
But when you rich, when you rich, people thinks money equates to happiness. Let's look at Anthony Bourdain. I was like, he got the best life on earth. I would love to travel and freaking do all types of beer and weed and
of course
fucking yo, he was all over the place. And everybody thought his life was so amazing and he was super depressed. And Dr. Dre going through this public divorce with the money, he's a fucking multimillionaire. You might think, oh, his life is straight, he good, but he could be going through some shit that nobody on this earth can relate to, especially being that big, having that much money, getting a divorce at that age, who knows like what he was going through. So it might have not have been that, it might have been a lot of things, but like my heart definitely goes out to him. And I can only imagine what his wife was thinking, because they're arguing about money, going back and forth, and the next thing you know, it's like he's in the hospital.
Yeah,
is she like
that should put things in perspective somewhat, man, because I know that in times where I was worried about like things that really don't need to be worried about, like we more than good, we more than blessed, you know what I'm saying? And when you like lose somebody or whatever like that, you really like, man, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I give all this shit up just to have that person, you know what I'm saying, back. So
we gotta have a lot of gratitude. And that's what I'm learning in my process, in my journey in life. If we don't have any gratitude to anything, how are you going to be able to appreciate anything that you have? Like, we need to be thankful for just basic stuff. People think like we need to have all this stuff to be thankful. No, you need to just wake up every day and be like, yo, I'm thankful to even sit here and talk on the mic.
And that's really it. For me right there, that was really it, what stuck out in this whole situation. Because like Dev said, the whole world is just concerned about an argument over money.
Yep.
Like, it's just like when we have an episode and we have our episodes where we discuss the finance, John, it's like that light shit up. People love it. I get it. We love it. It's a crazy conversation. We love it to talk about it. But the actual reality of it is
doesn't matter.
Is that shit don't matter when it comes to like the love amongst people and people that make you happy. And I know for them, because this is a couple. This is the people that spent a lot of years of their life together. And somehow, some way, we have differences. Differences, especially in this nasty world and these nasty times, it's so much distraction. There's so much shit out here that could cause conflict and controversy amongst people, So for them to like fall out, and then it's so much at stake in their fallout because they so successful and because of who they are.
Right.
And that's what we watch, and that's what we get engulfed in. And we mesmerized by that shit. Because of the money, we want to know who's going to come out rich. How much will the wife get? It's amazing.
And think about the beef or the guilt I got. Sometimes when people go, you ain't on the best of terms. And I got friends, I've been fortunate in that regard, you know what I'm saying? But I've had friends where it was certain situations and then they... somebody passed and they living with that, the fact that they didn't make it right. You know what I'm saying? So kind of like we're just try to keep things more on a positive note. And I actually start looking at people who you might see in a trying situation that have great attitudes about it and try to get energy from them, because a friend of mine, like, you know what I'm saying, like a partner in all of the combat shit and training and everything, Suitcase Kid, guy in Philadelphia. We talked about him before.
Yeah.
He was robbed in Philadelphia just, walking home. You know what I'm saying? And got shot in the neck and paralyzed. Random shit. You know what I'm saying? Where the day before that, your athleticism is what you bank on in your whole life. And it paralyzed him. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to him. He be DMing me some pull-up.
Nah, he be DMing me too.
Yo,
he's awesome. His energy is just like,
he motivates the shit out of me.
Yeah.
My man's really like keep it positive, you know what I mean? He be tuned in, you know what I'm saying? And, he keeping that attitude of looking at the future of what he's going to be able to do. And I salute him, you know what I'm saying? Because it inspires me ridiculously to be like, look at him, bro. Because I looked at him and was like, am I that strong? I want to make sure that I'm that strong. You feel what I'm saying?
He was saying my running 5 miles wasn't enough. He was like, Wally, you got to do more. You got to do like he was like, I used to run like 15 miles. I said, bro, you got me at 5. That's where I tap out at.
Yeah, he was a beast. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a beast, definitely. Like, even with him, just to share that, you know what I mean? He came into the gym before, and I kind of like sideways challenged him because I saw him like knock somebody out in the cage with like a flying knee. I saw that shit on Cage Fury, and I was like, damn. So I told him to come. I gave him like a fake time to come. So I really wanted to get there early, get warmed up. So I get there at the time. Yeah, I try to get there at that time. I walk in, he's strangling my man on the ground already.
Wow.
When I walk in, he's strangling him, and he just look up at me like, "What's up?" So I go in the back, get myself prepared, come out. I'm like, "Oh yeah, you could take a break or whatever." He like, "Nah,
I'm ready."
We start rumbling. He chokes me out in probably like 2 minutes. Around is like 5-6 minutes. Chokes me out in like 2 minutes. And I felt like I was a little too excited and shit like that trying to go. And then we ended up going like probably another 7 rounds, and we just stalled out every round. I almost choked him out. I almost choked you out, bro. That was one of the proudest moments.
So he was the choke your mom out, choke your dad out that day.
He's the originator, huh?
Yeah, man. And my time ran out. Salute the bro and everything. And just let's just stay positive, man. Also, foolery in the motherfucking news. Candace Owens. Come on.
She always got something to say, though.
Come on now.
I mean, ain't nothing wrong with what she's saying. She always has something to say, though.
I mean, it's.
But it's nothing. Hold on.
I don't get it.
It's her opinion. The only reason it's not wrong is because it's her opinion.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not. That's what I'm saying. She always has something to say. So
yeah.
it's not that I'm saying what she's saying is wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying she's like, there's always something, right?
You mean what she's saying is right?
Yeah, what she's saying is right, but I'm saying she's always saying something.
I don't think what she's saying is right.
I don't think so either.
Me personally.
Because I get it. That's like we having a section on Uber Eats that says Caucasian food only.
So
yeah, like Spanish people got their own channel. Spanish people got their own. Black people have BET awards. Fucking country people got country awards. Latin Grammys.
That's what she has a problem
right.
with.
Yeah, but what's wrong with that?
No, because she's saying at the core of it,
that it's
segregation because it's a separation. But I'm sure Porter, understands at the core of it, all the channels are the white channel.
That's what I'm saying.
So you
not only that, this is what people have a problem with. Mm-hmm. People have a problem with her opening her mouth saying that because, like Dev said, for the longest of time, majority of a lot of this stuff has been ran and owned by white people, right? Mm-hmm. Eventually, certain ethnicities started to gain certain things, but rarely really like blacks. Blacks only had like BET and Soul Train, right? For a long time. Mm-hmm.
And you got to remember these companies are still like under white people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, right. And even and it's probably the same deal for like Telemundo and different shit like that, right? But to be honest, a lot of people had a problem with it because they feel like a lot of opportunity hasn't been given to like the black community when it comes to these certain things like small businesses, when it comes to like fair opportunity in Hollywood, when it comes to roles and opportunities.
That's why they had to create their own awards. They had to create their own networks, and they had to create
They creating their own, and it's not to segregate.
No, it's not.
It's not to say white people, this not for you, or Latin people, this not for you.
It's because we weren't getting put in certain positions in other networks. So it's like now we have to create our own.
How can you judge sometimes if you're outside of something?
Yeah.
How can me, being a person that's not into gymnastics, go and judge gymnastics? If you're not in this culture of black music,
how do you understand
how the fuck you picking who
and
wins
what you
the award?
gotta understand is that now we in a new day and time, like Netflix, Amazon Prime, they're making it where like smaller companies and smaller people can have opportunities.
Right.
So these small companies and these small people who put together these films and these projects and they trying to put it out there, they don't have the same muscle that the big machines have in Hollywood, that the big people have.
Right.
So they might be saying, hey, let's just put ours in. Can we get a little section over here called, whatever, low budget, Black American films, right now. And I don't see an issue with it.
Yeah, because on Netflix is Black Cinema, right?
Yeah, Black Cinema.
Black Cinema.
But some people might not even know that, like, when you go to Philadelphia Airport, you ever see like they have that long line where it says all movies made in Philadelphia? You wouldn't know that those movies were made in Philadelphia unless you literally saw them. That's like when you go and you maybe want to buy hair products and you go to the store and it says, or you go to a website, it says Black-owned hair products. Maybe you want to support Black-owned hair products.
And the expertise as well.
And the expertise of the Black people who have the Black people hair.
Right.
And you want to be in, like, you
Even
don't want
when
to
it
buy
comes-
white people products when you got kinky,
Even
naughty
when it
hair.
comes to food. I mean, some people could understand that they don't want a Philly cheesesteak from a dude that didn't come from Philly or didn't grow up with Philly cheesesteaks. You know, they just made a fucking company. You know, I used to live down south and it was places that would be like, yo, this is a Philly cheesesteak. And it's like, no, this
crap.
ain't, my nigga.
It's like a part educational.
But do we have to like? I just keep referencing the Uber Eats thing because it's just like, do we have to reference it as like Black-owned restaurant or Black food or whatever? How
What
they
else
reference
would
it?
you reference it
We
as?
could say soul food. We could say
Well, white
Well,
people
they-
can have a
they
soul
also-
food
so
restaurant.
what they're
That
trying to
doesn't
say is they're
make
trying to
it.
make sure that if you do want to empower your community with some dollars, because
Right.
you're going to spend dollars at Target, Amazon.
absolutely.
No, so what I'm saying
Regardless.
is, so we know you spending your dollar at Target.
right.
You know you spending your dollar at Amazon. We know you going to Walmart.
Yeah.
So it don't hurt. So there's money going into that world,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, so you know what? I want to eat something, and I want to throw some of the money into
My sister's
my
pockets. My brother's pockets.
right, my community or whatever like that. It's been done with everybody. There's a Chinatown.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Jewish people have their own, you know, they
Amish
own
markets.
joints. Man, it's all kind of stuff. So it's
And
like,
nobody
The
is
Indian
saying,
food
and-
section.
and nobody is saying that the Chinese people are racist and that they are bringing back segregation
Right.
because they had Chinatown, because they had a little area
That
that
was
just
strict-
reminds
Even
them of their
Jamaica has a
culture,
Chinatown.
of their culture and their,
Everywhere has a Chinatown.
you know, I
Yeah,
don't
Puerto
think,
Rico, Dominican Republic.
I think, man, listen, I think the way she like
delivered it.
and just saying,
Sounds
you
bad.
know, yeah, it sounds bad. People trying to, she was basically saying that Black people have been tricked to believe that this propaganda about pushing for Black power and uplifting of Black power and Black business is really like bullshit and really like the new promotion to bring back segregation, to separate people and to separate everything. And she was basically saying that that's how she felt about Uber Eats
I don't
making
understand
Black.
how a person could be that smart and that dumb.
How do
I
you be
gotta
offended
call
by
it
your
like-
own people?
I just
trying
don't
to-
understand. Like literally, sometimes I look at this person and say, "Are you that smart and dumb, or are you Eve? Are you sick?"
I
Like,
don't
what's
think.
wrong
I don't
with-
think necessary. I don't want to say necessarily that because I feel like everybody experiences or looks at this whole, you know, segregation thing differently. You get what I'm saying? We live in an area. I don't know where she's from. Okay. But we live in an area where we're all kind of like connected and in tune and kind of like, you know, whatever. I feel like everybody like has a different outlook when it comes to that. There's a lot of people that be like, we now all of a sudden there's a Black section in this. That's we always been around. Y'all making it seem like we're like this new like idea that just came out of nowhere. I don't know if she's coming from that voice. You get what I'm saying? Rather than, I guess she was saying like the segregation part. I just feel like she feels like they're doing this based on the things that been going on currently.
I mean, I just feel like and you correct me if I'm wrong. I just feel like it is some Black people who probably came up different. They came up different and in a walk of life different, where they view these things different. They
Right.
view these issues different,
Right.
and they don't see it as an issue as more as other
as
Black
others,
people
right?
do.
So that's why I feel like she's just, her experiences might be different. So that's why maybe her outlook might just be different. There's a lot of people that think like that.
But how old
there's
is
a
she?
lot of. It doesn't
Who
matter
does
how
her
old
family come from?
But you
Like,
gotta understand, Chelsea, people come from different walks of life.
I understand
My
that, but if
sister's
you are
husband-
Black and if you are working in a community where you're supposed to understand other Black people, you have to do the education and know that, like, okay, we support white people all fucking day, like you
Right.
said, all day without even knowing it. We support white people all day
But
and
is that,
everything.
but is,
So
is
why
that
not
a
have-
choice? But you got to look
It's
at it
not a
like
choice.
this.
It's not a choice.
It's been around it, so it's not like we're supporting it because we have other options. I mean, granted, yes,
But now what that they're doing is saying, hey, here's an option to not just support the white stereotypical company. Now here's an option to support black people in your community, or here's an option to support, a black business. I just don't see anything wrong with it.
It's direct support, because what the companies do is when we go through, trauma or issues that we see in our community, what these big corporations might do is say, hey, Black Lives Matter. We're going to dedicate this to this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what they're saying is we could give the dollar directly to the motherfucker we want. We don't gotta watch NFL and then they go do it on our behalf.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, do it on my behalf, or Walmart on our behalf. It's like, this is a way that you could have a kind of a directory to say, hey,
and be knowledgeable.
And I want to support them.
And Wiley was just saying, that to me that it is some black people who different. They don't understand it. They don't see it the same.
I understand
that. And to speak
but
on
we
that,
can't say that they're. Go ahead.
No, they really out there because y'all
she
know
just
what.
want to shoot them bail
shoot
them bail and not just call them wrong because they have an opinion.
All right, of a different view.
I get it.
And they came up different.
I'm gonna be harsh and say, no, nigga.
They got to tap in.
You wrong because even if you're the president of the United States and you grew up rich, I don't give a fuck how you saw life.
You have to be knowledgeable.
You gotta be able to look from the perspective of people that's poor.
Exactly.
So
and say, let me look out for them. So it's the same way. If you black and you grew up with money and you grew up not in danger, you still should be able to look at people and be like, well, I see a lot of motherfuckers is in danger in Detroit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In Camden, New Jersey, and Philadelphia. I can see that it's a difference.
So this is a perfect time to ask you then, because just this past week, a bunch of Trump supporters stormed and invaded in the Capitol in D.C.
That was planned.
And hold on, I just want to know because we're talking about the few black people who feel different and see things differently. It was some black people in the Capitol amongst, all these Trump supporters.
Yes, they was.
All these people who basically, I feel that it all erupted from I believe they was waiting for an election to come up out of Georgia. It was a voting an election taking place in Georgia for Senate, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
And with this vote being won, with the amount of people that came out and voted, mainly colored people, they won this election. And this election was the reason that these Trump supporters erupted, because I guess it was to clarify Biden's win, Biden's official win for presidency. Not only that, but with his win, it was a lot of beautiful better things promised for the people, from minimum wage to being, taken care of, making right.
And I'm glad you said the word promise, because it is just a promise.
Promise,
At the end of the day,
right.
We're not naive people,
Right.
so don't jump in the comments like, these things. We
more stimulus amounts promised and things like that. And to be honest, I was shocked, man. I'm still shocked after seeing all this footage, man, because I got to bring up that I seen the post of when the Black Lives Matter was posted up in front of this same Capitol.
That shit looked like Game of Thrones soldiers.
Yeah, they protected it like they was protecting piles of gold and large amounts of diamonds and things of that nature.
I saw footage of dudes with the red hats on, rumbling, mixing with police. That to me is like mind-blowing, since you got the same people that'll watch a video of a dude not giving over his license fast enough, where he gets shot, and they say, well, he wasn't complying. Well, fighting a police officer is certainly not complying.
At all.
And then busting into a place and fighting a police officer, but nobody, let's just say what it is. How many people would have got shot?
Oh man,
if we rolled up there.
You know how many people would have been on it? They're saying one person got shot, and we don't even know if there's anybody else that's, you know what I'm saying, we getting more information, by the days and weeks or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, like, you can't sit here and just say like, oh, that shit was okay. They literally broke windows, the police were just letting them in like nothing was going on. They taking pictures in offices, on chairs, taking selfies, doing live videos. We would have never even made it that far.
Not at all. And that's why people need the option to be able to buy black sometimes. But you know what I'm saying? Like, to try to put some favor in on that side. Guess what? It's never going to equal out. That realistically, I don't, think so. But you could fight the fight, you could do that. It's in any situation you want to support somebody who, isn't getting the support elsewhere. And if you're supporting your own motherfucking community.
And I think like in just the midst of all this, these unfair leaders, these unfair groups of people who want to be like the most powerful people, who want to bring back like evil shit, you know what I mean? Because it benefits them, and they probably profit from it. I think it's just really like horrible, and it really says a lot of where we at as like a nation and as like a country, which at one point in time was supposed to be like one of the better countries and things of that nature. Like I think America is really starting to see it, and everybody in America, like we supposed to be leading with love. I know here where we have is a safe place for love for people of all ethnicities, for people from all cultures. It's love here. We don't deal with the bullshit. And I just feel like this is if 2020, if nothing in 2020 didn't wake you up, and now in 2021, right off the fucking bat,
nut shit,
we start off like this with something such a prestige landmark and monument
something
of our
that's
nation.
That's undemocratic. Like when people put all this shit on their back, like, well, it's about the Patriots and we like this, it's like, oh, yeah. There was a voting system. There was something put together, and then as soon as you don't get the results you want, now it's like, well, fuck that system. Let's wild out. And it just shows, the difference between people when people don't get something they want. You know what I mean? But we about to get out of it. Can we grab the wheel real quick?
It's like when a guy hollers at you and you're like, nah, like I got a boyfriend. And he's like, you was ugly anyway.
Yo, that is kind of, no, actually that is kind of thing. Bitch.
Bitch, you was ugly anyway. Well, just because I didn't want to talk to you, now I'm ugly.
Let's get America together, y'all. Let's get it back together.
That's real.
America's a salty ass nigga who couldn't get a girl they wanted.
All right, so we're gonna get a spin on this wheel and see where the fuck
I'm gonna say it's gonna be a
man. Sometimes it's bad predictions, you know.
Man,
what I mean?
Cajun Katie about to get spicy.
Yeah, let Cajun spin this joint real quick.
Look, yeah. Hot. What that say?
Do you eat or throw away the butt?
Do you eat or throw away the butt of the bread?
I eat it.
You eat the butt?
Yeah, I eat the butt.
What if it looks like this butt?
Porter gonna eat it.
I was just gonna tell you, I throw away the butt. Till Monica flipped the question. I was like, hold on, I grabbed my butt back out the trash.
What you doing?
He said, listen, he said, hold on, bring it over.
Bring it.
Hold on. So in that case, you eating the butt of the bread.
I throw it out to the birds.
I was throwing my butt out. Dad, when you asked me, I was like, I definitely throw the butt away. But then when Monica switched the question, I would grab my butt back out the trash. Like, hold up.
All right, another spin on that joint. Let me get another spin. Well, she got weak spins.
Hey!
Put in work, never let the job sit. And best believe I'm on that Spanish Steve Jobs shit. Millions and family is what we really on. And got a plug to show me love who only dealing arms shoppers out of Russia. They sing like Usher. Nas Warren and Nina ain't no screaming when I bust her. Ask about Porter, used to let it go in public. Cause suckers hate how you take that cake flipping dumb. Always fire in my clique for who wants some. I'm on my grind and I need mine and come in lump sums. Hungry savages, you know we know to hunt some. Then put my dogs on just so they can stun some. It's always fire in my clip for who wants some. I'm on my grind and I need mine to come in lump sums. Hungry savages, you know we know to hunt some. Then put my dogs on just so they can stun some.
This has been another episode of the Devinwade Show. For myself and the rest of the cast, we up out of here, man.